After what was a landmark event for the series last season, the long game returned to the newly resurrected Georgia Dome in Atlanta, Georgia for yet another intense night of monster truck action. This time with double the amount of competitors, 16 heavy hitters are all trying to rise to the occasion. After Sim Monster's veteran Chadwick Deerfoot won racing last time in Phoenix, the gauntlet was thrown down. This isn't just going to be Danny Walker's season to take. Can Chadwick win it again, or will someone else rise to the occasion instead? Find out next on The Long Game. Hello and welcome back to The Long Game. We are here once again in the Georgia Dome in Atlanta, Georgia. As always, I'm your host, Jack, and joined for the first time by my friend, Marty. We're going to bring you this event here in the Georgia Dome. It was incredible last season. It's probably going to be better this season. Many more drivers, a much bigger course. I think it's going to be a really exciting night of racing. What do you think, Marty?
I'm excited, man. This looks like a promising field, a great dome to have a great show in, and the races look great, the freestyles look great. I'm expecting a great show. This looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
And you can see the racing style we have. It's sort of like what we saw in Houston, where they go around an oval, sort of chase each other around the track, hitting the cars 3 times, but they start in the center. We'll see that a few more times this season, with the starting line in the center and having them start. But let's see who's at this show tonight. Tristan Livedall, who we saw in Houston, he's driving Mountaineer, and Damian Bowers, a veteran among veterans, driving Samson. 11 years of experience for him. And Chris Pervorakis, the points leader and bounty hunter from Staten Island, he wants to keep that lead.
Jackson Bizarro's Pure Adrenaline looks like a nice fast forward for the Naples, Florida veteran, and Magnus Berkland going to pilot the Instigator out of Norway, a 9-year veteran. Vincent Ackert, an American Guardian out of Phoenix, Arizona, looks to be a promising threat here tonight in the Georgia Dome.
Trevor Amos, a bit of an up-and-down guy this season, driving Obsession, and Keith Powell making his debut here in the Long Game in Bob and Tom out of Harlem, New York. Tim Smith, a longtime veteran, bringing back the Blacksmith, hopes to do better this time than they did in Phoenix.
Alex Ferrullo, Team Suzuki out of Chesapeake, Virginia, a brand new player here in the Team Suzuki Chevrolet. Trevor Alston, past racing champion at Maximum Destruction out of Hot Springs, Arizona, a 3-year veteran. Tyler Richmond in High Roller, trying to put the Ford in the winter circle tonight.
Devin Doss making his debut in Prowler, and the reigning racing winner from Phoenix, Chadwick Deerfoot, trying to win it again. Jack Meredith was a winner last season in Bulldozer. Now he wants to try and win some more. And Danny Walker, the veteran, he wants to win in Gravedigger. We see our racing bracket set up here. High Roller taking on Instigator. You see, Tyler Richmond was the number 1 qualifier. That's how this bracket is laid out here. Number 1 versus number 16, number 2 versus number 15. And some very interesting races here. You can see as we go down the lineup here. I think this is going to be a really great job here for a lot of these drivers, but it's not going to be easy for anybody. I mean, this course is very fast, it's very tacky, it's very tight. I think, with a course like this, it's really going to bring out the best in these guys.
This tacky Georgia Clay is going to be an exciting track to watch here tonight as we get our first round here. Instigator and High Roller in the Georgia Dome. They look ready to go, waiting for the green light. And the High Roller Ford's always been a player at every Monster Jam show he's been to, whether it be a straight line course or a turning course, which these chassis have been specified for. Speaking of turning courses, we have a lead so far, a very strong lead. High Roller looks to be pulling away on the Instigator.
It's interesting, Tyler Richmond was the number 1 qualifier, but he's winless this season. We'll see if Magnus... Whoa!
Oh, that'll be that for the Instigator, man. Tough break. He was really trying to push. The High Roller was pushing on the Instigator, and you can see right here, he's trying to counter steer, but the Clay bit him, and he goes up, and over. Wild start for the Georgia Dome.
Got a little too greedy in that turn, I can say. Tyler Richmond moving on, but it was not an easy job. I can tell he ran that truck very hard.
Tristan Livedall, the Mountaineer. Not a West Virginia Mountaineer. I guess we'll call him the Anaheim Mountaineer. Chadwick Deerfoot out of Dallas, Georgia, though. A player in the Ford.
Maybe he's from the Hollywood Hills. Who knows?
Who knows?
Chadwick, man. Oh. Chadwick is no slouch for anybody, and Tristan's got to run hard to beat him.
Beautiful corner. You can see he has the lead going into the second corner. Somehow managing to not have as much grip here.
Wow, that was close.
Coming around now. Oh, Mountaineer with a bit of a mistake.
No,
Get the 5-second penalty hook at the pole. It'll be Chadwick in Swamp Thing.
Tristan Livedall ate that pole.
You can see right there on the replay. And he just grabs it, and it didn't let go. He almost got away from it. but Chadwick will be victorious in the Swamp Thing Ford.
Yeah, you see, with these static poles we have on the track, they are no penalty. What the penalty is what they give you, and that was the ultimate penalty right there. Now, Devin Doss, somebody who you've seen in many different trucks, and driver of Deja Vu in many other leagues, but Jackson Mazzaros, the driver of WrenchHead.com last season, did very, very well. But the thing is, can he prove himself this season with so many bigger names by his side?
Piloting the truck out of the Randy Brown Motorsports team, and he looks to be kind of holding with Devin. Devin's pulling away in the Big Cat, the Prowler, making it into the final corner. Here we go. That's going to be all Prowler. Devin with a beautiful pass, and he looks fast, Jack. We're seeing these guys. Maybe their tires aren't as cut as deep as we thought they were. You could just see they're sliding around the corners, getting every single bit of luck that they could. Going into the final jump, Devin with a beautiful pass.
Devin's been behind the wheel of so many different trucks of so many different types. I think he knows how to prepare himself for an event like this.
There's the intimidating figure, the Gravedigger. Danny Walker taking on Keith Powell, Bob and Tom. Now, Keith Powell is a veteran. I've actually competed with Keith before. He's a very fast driver, and he's gotten better over the years, but can he take on the Gravedigger? We're going to find out right now. Beautiful corner by both. They look to be even on the first corner.
You know, surprisingly enough, Danny Walker did not win racing at this event last season. He's in a brand new truck, which he's been pretty great in. The thing is, he's only won racing. Whoa, look out.
Whoa, Bob and Tom, hold on. Oh, it's a 5-second penalty. Gravedigger's going to walk away from it. Don't hit him. Oh, no. Oh, we're getting crazy here in the Georgia Dome. Man, oh, man.
This racing course does not slow down for anybody, and you can see Bob and Tom made just a major mistake. He went right into that pole, which you knew was not going to move at all.
Oh, no, it wasn't going to give an inch. It did give an inch to pure adrenaline. You can see Gravedigger almost coming over. I really thought he was going to hit him. Danny, the president's about to turn away from him. Beautiful job by Danny.
Hopefully these guys can make it through this course in one piece, but I do not know about that. Tim Smith, a bit of an up-and-down guy, but he's got so much experience going up against one of the hungriest and fastest racers in this entire league. That's Vincent Acker, an American Guardian.
You typically wouldn't see the American Guardian doing so hot in real life, but you can just see Vincent is taking the American Guardian and flying. He's really pushing the pace on Tim Smith. As we've seen, some of these races have been very, very even. As they look within the heat comes on, the camera's on them, they realize that they're going to be on the long game.
Whoa! Oh, man, that was close.
You can see the heat was really going there. Vincent almost didn't make it. Their qualifying times always differ. That's why legends will say do not rely on the qualifying times.
Look how close that was.
Man.
He almost grazed the bus. That would have sent him over for sure, but he managed to crab walk it over the cars. Still managed to get the win. That's a very, very risky move.
Edged out that 5-second penalty as we look at Trevor Alston here. Maximum Destruction going up against another powerhouse. Christopher Larock in the Bounty Hunter.
Now this race should be very interesting because Trevor Alston won racing here last season in a completely different truck than this. Chris Poverakis is the points leader, and it looks like some problems with Maximum Destruction coming in that first turn.
Oh man, you could just see the lag was what bit him right there. I think that might cost him the race as he's trying to fly by. He's really getting after it, but I don't think it's going to be enough. He's going to end up suffering some force from the Bounty Hunter, and it will be Bounty Hunter taking out Max D. Tough break for Trevor there. That's a real bummer as he almost rolls it into the wall protection.
Trevor has had a very, very rough season in racing, which is very surprising coming from the racing champion. But Chris P., I think he's got a lot going for him this season. He's a major heat seeker. I think we've got to watch out for him because performances like this was not a lucky win. He managed to earn that one.
Trevor Ramos taking on Damian Bowers, and as we look at Damian's truck, Damian's more of a drag racing guy. That's why he kind of went with the cantilever setup. You can see the rear end is moving beautifully. The truck really isn't made for turning courses, but Damian somehow makes it work anyway. As we can see, actually, I don't think he had the lead on that first jump, which is kind of surprising because Damian's been around since MTM2. He knows a thing or two about wheeling a truck here. He's actually suffering for some lost time, and I don't think he's going to try to... Oh, he might make it. No! Obsession's going to tell... Oh!
Man, as we saw with Vinny, he almost hit that bus, and now Damian going to struggle to finish this course. I mean, I think he was just kind of all over the place on those landings. That's where it got him.
Yeah, and those shocks love to move. You know, they always drop out. That's why it's a drag racing truck. For him to try to be competitive in the turning course environment, you can see he really took a good shot off the bus there. It's going to be tough, but Damian will somehow make it work with his years of experience.
And here we have Jack Meredith. You know, one of the few people who actually beat Danny Walker in racing. It was this exact same event he did, going up against somebody who I think is a little bit disappointed in themselves, but they always try and be better. That's Alex Frula. I think we got to look out for big things from him this season. Always qualifies very high so far.
Two big bad Chevys, and they're really going for it. Another Willman-based design, not actually built by the Willmans, but actually Tom Metz, who took after the Willman design. as that was one of his first builds. And you can see these guys are really going after it. I think a
Man.
rough bounce by Bulldozer might put him behind. Final go!
Oh, turning
5
pole.
seconds on Bulldozer.
Turning. Oh my gosh!
Suzuki's going over.
Into the
Oh
dumpsters.
man, what a roll!
Oh my gosh!
Wow.
Alex gave it all, and he got it all, but he for sure got it at the end in that race against Bulldozer. I mean, Jack Meredith went really tight in those turns, and you had to because Suzuki's such a fast truck, but you hit those poles and it's just over for you. But look, he comes across sideways here, tries to kind of recover into the turn, but he just sends it over completely, the bounce of it. But thankfully put him right into the safety barrier, that dumpster right there. But man,
just an absolutely wicked bite. You know, those Goodyears, sometimes they hook real well, and well, that time they hooked too well, and he ended up flipping over, going into the wall. And you really can't see how you're doing when you go around the bus.
but here we have a very good racing bracket. I think High Roller Swamp Thing will be a great one. Prowler versus Gravedigger, American Guardian going up against Bounty Hunter, Obsession going up against Team Suzuki. I think this would be a really interesting bracket as it goes along. But Tyler Richmond, I think the one thing you can say about him is that he's qualified so high in all these events, but he's never won anything yet. Will he be able to win something tonight? I think this course favors him.
And the best thing about the racing bracket is if these guys are going to stay consistent and not have the pressure override their skill, these races are going to get faster and faster than we've seen him tonight. I say that, Chadwick looks like he almost got a 5-second penalty going to the final corner. Not the final corner, but the second corner. Final corner, here we go.
Whoa, TJ.
Oh,
way
you can
close.
see the entry from High Roller. He really wants it, biting, and it's going to be the High Roller Ford. What a race.
It might be TJ's night here as he ends in very spectacular fashion. You know, Chadwick Deerfoot, he really put a lot into this race, really tried hard, but unlike Phoenix, he couldn't come out with a win.
You could definitely see he pushed out a little wider, didn't quite get the truck rotation into the corner that he wanted to, but he was really pushing for it. It's a tough break for Chad, but the High Roller was just too much there.
All right, this should be a good one. Danny Walker, New School versus somewhat New School. Devin Dawson, the Prowler. That is a racing truck right there. And Danny, I think he's really got to fight this truck to get what he wants out of it. But I think I'm confident in his abilities.
Oh, you could just see Devin really going around the corner beautifully. You could see he really wants this win. He wants to take out the Gravedigger. I don't care who you are. When you drive the Gravedigger in any game, you're going to have a bullseye on your back. Devin's really pushing the pace on the Gravedigger. Final corner, here we go. It looks real tough. You can't tell who's even. Oh, it's going to be the Gravedigger. Devin with a bit of a bobble. Oh, no. Over, flipping over into the bus. What a race. Man, these guys are getting fast.
Much like Bob and Tom, cut it into the middle there off of that same jump. And that whatever that is right there, the structure. Much like Snakebite going after a shed, Prowler goes over, and hopefully they get that thing back for freestyle.
That was a roll. That was a decent one there.
Yeah, but Danny earned that one. I think he chose a truck that he knew he had to fight, and he had to fight for that one.
Vincent Ackard, he's been the unsung hero. I guess he's a cerebral monster truck driver in this field, going up against Chris Purple-Arakis, the bounty hunter powerhouse, I guess I'd like to call it. And and that's the thing about these guys is they want it so bad that the light seems to be one of the things that psychs them out. If they don't get a good light, they don't have a good pass. But these guys are pretty much even, and that's what's awesome about these races as you go down the bracket. Oh man, I couldn't tell right there. This is really close. American Guardian somehow pulling away though.
Vincent Acker gets the win. I mean, it's just a matter of you got to want it and you got to really hone in your skills on a track like this. Because as much as Chris P wants to be a big player, I think Vinny wants it more than just about anybody. And I think he might have a shot at winning this whole thing if he's lucky enough to do it.
That was a beautiful pass by Vinny. That was just nothing short of a perfect pass.
Trevor Ramos, surprising to see him make it this far. Going up against Alex Ferrulo, somebody who did very good in Houston, had probably the closest race of the season. One that I think he feels he should have won.
The classic Ford Chevy matchup, and they're off, and they're both hooking real nice. Company truck and an independent. And you're looking for the Ford here because of how it's corporate sponsor, and it looks like it's going to be the Ford. Alex Ferrulo, he's still up on two wheels after that one. That was just a bad rebound. The Suzuki, even with the cosmetic damage and all, just got such a nasty bite, and that's what ended up getting him. Oh man, it almost bit him there.
Suzuki is just all over the place. And you see what he tried to do here. You saw what happened in the race against Bulldozer. He tries to bounce into the turn, but on a track this tacky, you really can't do that. You see, he nails some of the tough blocks there, but it was already over. I mean, Amos just won this race, and he's got the opportunity of a lifetime tonight. That
was definitely a wild wreck.
We see our semifinals: High Roller versus Gravedigger, and American Guardian versus Obsession. Should be a very, very good night of racing. I mean, I'm interested to see how this is going to go.
And I'm loving to see the chances of Tyler Richmond. I really want to see Tyler and Vincent go at it, but he's going to have to take out the Dark Horse, who suffered the bite of the Prowler. Team Pizzo looks to be a threat, and oh man, you're going to look at one of the greater races here tonight. Oh, but it looks like Danny's kind of slipping into the first corner.
TJ's much tighter, but Danny's trying to keep up the speed. He's trying to keep it up. I don't know if he can close that gap.
Ooh, I don't think so. I think the High Roller's going to have to take this to the limit, and he does. Oh, he takes the Gravedigger out. Wow, Tyler Richmond really going for it. Danny, oh, I thought Danny was going for the wall. He was really trying to come back.
Tyler Richmond
trying to get that win.
Tyler Richmond hoping to prove his #1 qualifier spot is all that it was worth, because he almost got a penalty there, much like we saw with Vinny.
Very, very close. Tyler Richmond's fast.
And this race should be very interesting. I think Amos, he's got, I would say he's got a couple lucky breaks with this kind of an event. I mean, I think he's really proven himself.
Oh, you could just see Trevor Amos drills Vincent off the line, but he's got so much speed and so much agility inside that monster truck. I don't know if it matters. It may matter, though. He's got, oh, he's just losing that dominance he had. Trevor Amos pulling away on him.
Vincent is going to give him all he's got. He's managed to close the gap somewhat.
Oh, you gotta be kidding! Oh man!
Wow.
Oh, I thought he was coming back! Oh, Vincent's rolling over!
Vincent is over.
Wow!
He almost had the same thing we saw earlier, where he almost missed up. Look at this. It's very, very close, but he could not close the gap in that amount of time. He couldn't go straight. He couldn't give it all the power he wanted to. And unfortunately, he rolled over anyways. Amos, I'm really surprised. He's moving on to the finals here. This should be interesting.
That was quite the roll. I mean, I almost thought he was going to pull out of that one because of the agility he knows to have.
You see how the cookie has crumbled here tonight. High Roller versus Obsession in the finals. This should be a very, very interesting matchup. I expect TJ's going to win this one, but Amos, I mean, he's really surprised us all tonight.
Not the matchup I expected, but the matchup that we're getting. Trevor Amos. And it's an all-Ford final. You know, the Ford guys are definitely loving this, but who is the better Ford? These guys have been fast. Trevor Amos can do what he did last race in this race. I think he might take it.
Dead even off the line. I think this is very telling. It will not be easy to call.
Oh, look at how even they are over the cars. You got to be kidding me. Trevor's really pushing the High Roller. Oh, this is going to be a great final turn. Oh, man, you can see High Roller's really throwing it in there. Trevor Amos bringing it.
Here. Amos is going to get it. Wow.
Wow, Trevor Amos going to take the dub in Obsession. What a race. What a race event. That was beautiful. The races pretty much the whole night were consistent, clean, fast. Some wrecks here and there. And a Ford ends up on top in Trevor Amos.
You know, Trevor Amos, it's interesting. He started off this season with a red light in Houston. Did not make it very far. I believe he made it to the round number 2, if not the semifinals in Phoenix, and now he's going to go out here and celebrate. I mean, talk about a comeback story early on. I mean, if this should be, might be even telling for the rest of the season. Who knows?
Oh, I couldn't tell you, but Trevor definitely was a threat here tonight at the Georgia Dome.
Yeah, and he managed to knock off the #1 qualifier, Tyler Richmond, which was no easy feat. But let's show you some highlights from tonight's racing competition. Lead to Las Vegas, the official destination of the Long Game World Finals 2 and the very end of this season. We hope to see all of you there. We're just getting started here after this incredible night of action in the Georgia Dome, where we saw Trevor Amos rise above all expectations and manage to pick up the win here in an incredible racing competition that I don't think we're ever going to forget. But the night is not over. Follow the long game at simpmonsters.com for all of our racing results and information, and you can join our Discord server to get in touch with everybody in this league and subscribe to this channel for more TLG content. I'm Jack. We'll see you next time for Freestyle.